Welcome to NATA Part B paper discussion. So today we are going to analyze the questions that had come in various sets on 2nd June NATA examination. So if you are somebody who is preparing for NATA examination, so do check out our 51-day NATA course. If you haven't downloaded our app, which is KP Classes Exam Prep app, kindly download it now and you will find the course of 51-day NATA preparation, which comprises of the whole curriculum and recorded lectures. A lot of students have benefited from this particular course and they have been able to secure very good rank in NATA. Their NATA scores had improved after taking up this particular 51-day course. So do check it out and do download the app. So let's get started. So today we are going to discuss the paper analysis of 2nd June, right? So let's see what were the questions in set 1. So as we all know that this year NATA had introduced the drawing curriculum as well, which was discontinued in the past for 2-3 years because of the COVID. Now, since this drawing curriculum has been added, there is another surprise in this particular examination. The surprise is the 3D kit which is being provided to the students, and the students are supposed to create a 3D model out of it. So don't worry, we will be showing you how to create these particular models. Do watch this particular video till the end because we will be adding certain sketching videos of some of the questions. Okay, as per the solution we will be putting the sketching videos, as well as we are putting a 3D model making video as well. So do watch it till the end, and of course subscribe to our channel to get more benefits, to get more information about what is happening in the design and architecture field. So let's get started. Let's see the questions. The question is number 1. Draw a 2D composition using circles, square and triangles depicting growth with shades of yellow and green. Now one thing I will be telling you, in the June paper, what we had seen majorly is that a lot of weightage was given to color theory, right? So there were limitations in the number of colors that you need to use. There were also guidelines in terms of what color you have to use in certain questions. So as you can see here, they have written shades of yellow and green. That means you cannot use any other color. And shades of yellow and green means you can definitely use various shades of it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do memorize the color wheel and remember what are tints, tones and shades. If you are somebody who has already gone through a 51-day course, you will find proper video lessons in terms of how to tackle these particular questions and how to incorporate the color theory in these particular questions. The second question is, draw a 3D composition of 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter square ceramic bowl with 2 oranges, 1 bunch of grapes and a small bunch of berries with fruit fork, and the light is from the left. Now we have included the video solution of this particular question as well, because we found that there were a lot of students who were finding it really difficult in terms of how to draw or what sort of an approach or what sort of quality they need to have in these particular drawing related questions. Now please remember, there are few things that you have to remember in this particular question. One major problem which the students were facing was that they really got confused with the guidelines of measurement. They were asked to make a bowl of 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter. Now, if we look at a A4 size sheet, so generally you get an A4 size sheet and you have the question written over here and you have to draw something over here. So the measurements were not really matching with this 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter, because a lot of students said that the paper is very small. I mean, how do we draw certain things? So please remember, you need to scale it down. They have given you a measurement. That doesn't mean that you have to draw the exact measurement on the paper, right? You have to know how to scale it down, because we have definitely studied about scale and proportion. So if you're scaling down the 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter, for example, if you are having this A4 sheet, right, and you assume that, okay, 5 centimeter means 20 centimeter. So you're scaling it down. Okay, so keep in mind, if you're scaling down the fruit bowl, which is 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter, you are also scaling down the size of the fruits. But you have to take care of the proportion. Okay, when you're scaling down the oranges, you have to also keep in mind that you have to scale down the bunch of grapes and berries as well, as compared to the orange and as compared to the fruit bowl as a whole. Now, why do we get these kind of questions? You have to understand that as architects, you definitely will be designing buildings, okay, designing buildings, homes, exteriors, parks, etc. So do you think that you will be, if you have to design a space which is 4 acres, so definitely you will be scaling it down on a piece of paper, right? You won't be going on sketching it out exactly on a 4-acre sheet. You will be scaling it down to a A3 or say A1 size. So that's exactly what you're learning to do over here. You're learning to understand that no matter what sizes have been given to you, you need to scale it down to fit inside the piece of paper. Okay, so it's as simple as that. A lot of students had a problem in understanding this particular question. Next, last one is make a model using the given kit that shows balance and proportion. So we will again discuss it out in the end of the video, where we'll be showing you what sort of forms were given and how you need to place them to show balance and proportion. So let's get started. So this is the first question, which says draw a 2D composition using circles, square and triangles depicting growth, okay, with shades of yellow and green. So you can definitely use different shades of yellow and green. You don't have to just stick to one particular shade. It's up to you. How do you want to show growth? So for me, the growth was more like a movement in a particular direction and also multiplication, and also growth in terms of sizes. So I have shown that various elements over here. Through circles, I have shown growth in terms of size, then growth in terms of a vertical structure where different elements are coming together and forming a vertical structure. Here I have shown growth in terms of a movement where things are growing and moving forward. Okay, so this is more of a 2D composition. Remember, it's 2D. You have to stick to the shapes. You cannot change the shape. Okay, you cannot make them into a 3D form. So there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. And also within the given space, try to use the colors that you have been asked to use. So if you can see in the negative area, I have used the prescribed colors, which is yellow and green. So do not leave the negative area white. Okay, please remember, if you have studied the color theory, then you will understand that white is also considered to be a color. So if you are leaving the space without any yellows or greens, then it will be considered as the third color, which is white, and you will not get marks on that. Similarly, this is another example. Okay, so here please keep in mind the elements of design. Okay, principles of design. Keep in mind whether you want balance, whether you want asymmetrical look to it, whether you want a very abstract look to it. So keep these principles in your mind and then work on your concept. Next is, as I told you, for this particular question, we have added a little video for you so that you understand that what should be your approach and what should be the quality of your sketch. But here, let's discuss few things about this particular question. Draw a 3D composition. So it has to be 3D. Remember, always compare. The first question was about 2D creation, okay? And the second is 3D. And this is something that we have consistently watched in all the NATA examination, that one question comprises of a 2D composition. Now it can be a logo, it can be a say poster, it can be a general abstract composition. So please be open to all such kind of questions and thoroughly go through your curriculum very well. Understand and read and practice symbols, pictograms, okay, hoardings, posters, because they all come under 2D composition, wall murals. Keep these things in mind, okay. And the second one is all about 3D. So 3D could be a still life, 3D could be an interior sketch, 3D could be an exterior sketch. So the key is that you practice. You should have enough practice. Keep in mind the scale and proportion, because here they had prescribed a size. That means that if you actually see a bowl in real life, it has to be this big. One very good example I want to give you, and one trick I want to share it with you. So the trick is always keep a scale with you, okay? Try and visually analyze the proportions. For example, this is a 12-inch scale, which is 1 feet, and it is 30 centimeters, okay? Either 12-inch or 30 centimeters. Now, just visually analyze what will be the half of it. 6 centimeters, right? And if we look at it in terms of, 6 inches, and if we look at it in terms of centimeters, then 15 centimeter. So you basically know, if I have to measure my hands, it's around 6 inches. So you basically know in terms of visual that what will be a 20 centimeter bowl. So always keep a scale with you while you are working and visually analyze the sizes. What will be 5-inch, what will be 2-inch, what will be 10 centimeter. Because these are the basic understanding of measurements that a student of architecture or a student of design needs to analyze it visually. That's why we train you guys in sketching, so that while sketching, not only your quality improves, but you also understand the sizes, and that's how you can go on to the next level, which is scale and proportion. So always keep this handy with you while you are working, and always visually analyze and try to visually understand that what the sizes would look like in reality. So if somebody says 2 feet width, so you know what is the size, okay? In your mind you would know it will be double of this particular scale. If somebody says 3 feet, understand your height also, right? And compare, do a lot of comparison. Like if you are somebody who's 5'5", then as compared to you, how tall is the door of your room, or how tall is the ceiling of your room? So this is how you get practicality in your work as well. So this was a really interesting question. So generally when we think about a bowl, we always think in terms of a cylindrical or a oval shape structure, but here they had given a cuboidal structure, square ceramic bowl they had written, which is cube, okay? So all the sides are 20 centimeter. Now you as creative students, you can do a little bit of variation. So in reality, there are various variation in a square bowl. So you can see it's tapering at the bottom. You can definitely do that. Over here also, the bowl is tapering at the bottom. And certain measurements have been given over here, like 15 centimeter, right? So when you are working on it on your paper, you're scaling it down. So maybe for you on the paper, a 6 centimeter by 6 centimeter might stand for 20 centimeter. Okay, accordingly you scale the height of it. Okay, this height is very important. I had given this particular question to be solved by some of the students, and they worked on it really smartly. They thought about the height to be in proportion with the width. So they did not make it too deep, because obviously you're keeping fruits on it. It cannot be too deep, right? It cannot be like a box. So take care of the elements also. Like if just the size is given, so what will be the depth of it? Analyze it accordingly. And accordingly, the fruits were incorporated in it. Now, please remember, there was a fruit fork as well. Now, the fruit fork could be a plastic, could be a wooden, okay, could be of metal. So, next thing is keeping in mind the texture. One texture is already given, the texture of the bowl, which is ceramic. So, we will see in our video how to, work on the texture as well. Now the other textures, you are absolutely sure about it. You know what a grape would look like, what an orange would look like, what a berry would look like. Now what about the fruit fork? Now you can play there with the texture. You can think of incorporating a plastic food fork. If you are somebody who's very, very environmental friendly, then you can incorporate a wooden or a metal fork. Okay, and I hope you guys know what it looks like. So if you don't know, please do take certain references. Okay, so we don't mind you taking references and making few variations in terms of your creativity. So we'll look at the video at the end. Don't forget to watch till the end, and again I'll interrupt and ask you to download the app of KP Exam Prep and look for the various courses which we are offering to our students, and whatever course suits you. And if you are somebody who is a NATA student, then definitely the 51-day NATA course is something which will be really helpful for you. The next question was, of course, the kit was provided, and the concept was that you have to keep in mind balance and proportion. We already spoke about proportion. Proportion is like what the size of the elements will be in comparison with the other. For example, a human face is of a certain size, and as compared to the face, there are certain proportions of the eyes, the lips and the nose. You might not see a person with like huge eyes as compared to the face, until and unless it's a caricature drawing or something, but in reality, they are in proportion. Okay. So that is what you have to keep in mind. Here I have used some reference images. Now balance. What is balance? Balance could be the literal form of balancing certain things. Balance could also be in terms of radial balance, asymmetrical balance and symmetrical balance. So choose your concept wisely, and looking at the 3D, you have to create that model accordingly. Okay, so this brings us to the next set of the NATA drawing part. So here the first question is again, draw a 3D composition using one cuboid, 3 cylinders and 2 sphere depicting movement. Okay. Draw a iceberg melting due to global warming using curved lines only and using not more than 3 colors. Okay, again the limitation in terms of colors have been given, but here they have not mentioned which color needs to be used, but they have just given the limitation of 3 colors. Last, of course, is make a model using the given kit in rectilinear proportion. So we will again see what. So here is the sketch of the 3D composition, where you are placing the different elements in a way that depicts movement. So movement, here I have taken the inspiration from the movement or the path of a river or a road. So it moves in a particular direction. It can be a curvy line, it can be a straight line. And while it is moving, there is a sense of perspective also. So in this particular composition, I have included the perspective also, because when we look at something which is going away from us, it seems to be diminishing in size, right? So that's how I have tried to depict movement in this particular composition. Next is draw an iceberg melting due to global warming using curved lines only, using not more than 3 colors. So So again, remember that you have to mostly use the curved lines. In fact, these lines also could be curved more as per your requirement. Okay. Now, this might not exactly look like a real depiction, but it could be more like a graphical depiction, like what you do on computers or what you do in terms of, creating a symbol. You can also keep in mind the gestalt theory over here. You can play with the negative and the positive area. Now, coming to the part where you have to use three colors. So choose any three color over here, right? Any three color that suits the whole mood. So you can show, you need to show global warming. So what is the symbol of warming? Of course, it's the sun, and it's also certain things which could be part of the environment. So you can show it in terms of a symbol using warm color. Now either you use a red, okay, you can use a red, you can use shades and tones of orange. So red and orange are two different colors because red is a primary color, okay, and orange is a secondary color. So any different colors from the color wheel, you can pick it up, okay, simple. Pick up three different colors from the color wheel and use all their tints, tones and shades. Now again, you can use red and orange, red and yellow, and you can use various tints, tones and shades. And to show or depict the ice cube, you can use the tints or shades of blue, right? So it could be the lightest blue. Of course, you cannot leave anything white. So you can show the sky. All the negative area could be the sky. The tip of the iceberg could be the lightest of blue with lot of tint, like a blue tint where you have used a lot of white. Okay, so it almost looks white, but it's not white. Please remember. So you have to use the tints, tones and shades of, you can use blue, you can use yellow, you can use red. So these are the things you can use. You can also show the temperature rising in terms of certain shades of red. You can show the background, like background is the sky. So since it's a very abstract sort of a composition or an abstract sort of a depiction where you're trying to communicate through color. So instead of having a blue sky, you can always use various shades of red, showing that the blue is slowly converting into red, which depicts the rise in temperature, which is the reason why the icebergs are melting. I hope you have understood what we have meant to say. And also I was talking about negative and positive areas. So here you can see a negative and a positive area. A little bit has been used. What I would suggest you that you should not leave the background white. Okay, in case you are planning to use the white color, then it's okay. But if I would have been there in your place and working on this particular solution, I would take a chance to experiment more with three vibrant colors. Then this is the set. This is the next set where we have designed a logo for food carnival by using again two colors for your choice, of your choice. Okay, so again a limitation in terms of color has been given. Then show a 3D view of a library. So after a long time we have got a question where you need to use perspective and you have to draw a interior space with all the required details. And the last one is make a model by using the forms in the given kit and show symmetry and balance. Very easy. Symmetry means the right and the left is identical, or the top or the bottom is identical. And of course, if something has symmetry, something is like a mirror image, then definitely it shows balance. So pretty simple over here. So here we have two concepts of logo design. So it's a food carnival, so you can see food festival and certain images in terms of what you can relate with the food you can use over here. So we have two concepts, and always remember that use certain colors that resonate with the mood of that particular event or a brand. Okay, so here we are talking about food, which is again symbolizes happiness, which is vibrant. So you can always go for vibrant colors and also make it minimalistic and neat, right? Next is 3D view of a library, right? So here again we will be showing you some very quick sketches of how to go about with these kind of questions. Now somebody who has already done the 2-point or the 3-point or the 1-point perspective might find it very easy. So it is just asking you to show a 3D library. It does not ask you to draw the interior in any specific perspective. So the first thing that comes to our mind is a general 1-point perspective, how we see certain things in the linear perspective. You can also go for 2-point perspective to show a little bit more detail of the surrounding. Or if you are somebody who is very experimental, then definitely you can use a 3-point perspective. Now over here, the 3-point perspective could be the view of a CCTV camera, as if somebody is watching that particular library through a CCTV. So it's your call. Again, there is no limitation, or there is no instructions in terms of using color. So please keep in mind, if they haven't instructed you to use any color, so I would ask you to refrain from using any particular color. Also keep in mind your time limit, okay, because this is already a very detailed sketch. So you have to keep in mind the time limit, and it is okay not to use color, but you need to shade your sketch properly. You have to visualize from where the light is coming. You have to visualize different textures in that particular interior. You have to differentiate between the walls and the floor, and accordingly you have to shade your artwork. We found out that a lot of students wanted us to show the live sketching. So this is for our students. Again, at the end, I would want you guys to subscribe to our YouTube, and also download our app, which is KP Classes Exam Prep. It's available on Google Play, and check out the 51-day NATA course and also the other courses if you are planning to appear for design entrance exam as well. So I hope this was useful, and do watch it till the end to understand the approach of sketching. Thank you.